Guys, welcome back to Victoria Sally Yoga. Today we will be doing 4 heart opening postures. The props that you'll need today will be a blanket for your knees. You can grab a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, then I would recommend maybe stacking 3 or so of like the most firm pillows that you have. And then the last thing will be 2 blocks. And then if you don't have 2 blocks, you can always grab 2 hardcover books or again, 2 very, very firm pillows. The first posture that we will be practicing is going to be just like a reclined supportive pose. Now you'll grab your bolster, place it behind you on the mat lengthwise. And you want to sit with your legs straight out in front of you and the bolster placed directly on your hips. So you should feel this on the back of your hips. Now, all you'll do is just start to roll the spine back until you're laying flat on the bolster. You can relax the feet and let your arms go down by your sides. This is a nice chest opening posture. It also gets a little bit into the lower back. And so you should focus on just fully relaxing the body, allowing yourself to be supported by the bolster beneath you. And you want to feel as if your shoulders and your chest are kind of spilling open, and the shoulders are going to be falling over the sides of your prop. And you can keep your arms with the palms facing up for receiving energy. And then if you would like, you could also place the palms face down for grounding energy. I'd recommend holding this posture for maybe about 5 minutes, possibly 10, depending on what feels good to you. When you're ready to exit this posture, bend your knees, plant your feet into the ground. You're going to roll off of your bolster into a fetal position. And then you can push your way up to a comfortable seat. Our second posture is going to be tabletop with cat-cow. So if you have any knee issues, or if you would like some extra padding on the knees, grab your blanket, fold it up maybe 2 or 3 times to give yourself a nice cushion. Place it underneath the knees. Take a moment to check your alignment. Make sure that the hips are directly over the knees and make sure that the shoulders are directly over the wrist. And while you're here, you can keep the toes tucked or untucked. For cat-cow, with your inhale, you lower your belly, you lift your chest, and you look up to the ceiling. And with your exhale, you tuck round and curl. You use your hands to push the ground away, and you look toward your thighs. Allow your head to follow this movement, maybe looking up, and then looking back down to get the full range of movement. And feel free to make this as big or as small as you need it to. Perfect. Our next posture is going to be puppy pose, which is more of a yin posture. And so you can grab your 2 blocks and set them out in front of you. You can keep the blanket underneath your knees. starting from your tabletop, you'll actually start to walk your hands forward in any amount until your chest is leaning towards the mat. And you can lower your head to the ground as well if that feels good. And if you feel like you don't necessarily have as much range of motion, or if you would like to have just a little added support, you can take your blocks and place your hands on top of those blocks. And you'll feel the arch in the back, as well as the sensation of the chest melting forward towards the ground. When you're ready, start to walk your hands back in underneath you. Push your way back up to tabletop. And then as a counter to this pose, bring your knees together. Sit your hips back onto your heels. Melt your torso over your thighs. And then just bring your hands back towards your feet for an embryo pose. And let your head hang heavy. When you're done with that embryo pose, slowly roll your way back up to a seat. And your head is the last thing to lift. And our final posture is going to be Camel Pose. So you'll actually come to your knees, lift the hips, and you're gonna place your hands on your low back with the fingertips facing down. And you really want to try to support that sacrum right there in the low back. You can keep the toes tucked or untucked. Keep the shoulders down. Look straight ahead of you, and then just lower your chin to your chest. Once you've lowered the chin to the chest, you're going to start to push the hips forward very slowly. And as you do that, you're going to start to lean back with the chest. And once you've gone as far as you can go, you can lift the head and lift the neck. Now, this is somewhat of a strenuous posture, so you do want to be careful. And you want to make sure that you don't go too far into that camel pose. Once you have come to the furthest you can and you've held it for about 1 to 2 minutes, slowly start to return to neutral. Shift the hips back, come back to the knees, and then sit the hips down. You can close your eyes and take a few breaths to reset. You can do this camel posture one more time, again, keeping the toes tucked or untucked. And you can continue the same way that you did it before. Or if you would like an added challenge, you can actually reach your hands back for your ankles. And you'll start exactly the same way. So you'll look forward, start to bend the neck, look towards your chest. Melt the torso backwards, reach for the ankles, and once you've found that expression, lift the chin. And that's it. Those are opening postures. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video.